Yeah, fair point. Fair point. But I do think this is when it's finally Penny time. And if it doesn't happen, then this is it, man. You could put a fork on it.
If I had a penny for every time Johnny said it was Penny
you
time,
would have a lot of money right now. I guarantee you.
Right here.
But not only are the Saints favorite, you are our favorite Whisper Nation. And you'd be our even more of a favorite if you hit that subscribe button, hit that like on your way in, and helped us grow the channel over on YouTube. When we talk about the New Orleans Saints side of the ball, we have to start with Alvin Kamara and just quickly tell the people, Austin, why we are still all in on Alvin Kamara as that workhorse back.
Coming off the bye, an extra week to prepare. We like that, and we really like what we saw in his last game playing against Washington week 5. 16 targets, 71 rush yards, 4.4 yards per carry, and a touchdown to go along with 51 receiving yards. That's a season high on 5 catches, also a season high from 8 targets. Again, a season high. He also got a touchdown. You like what you're seeing out of Alvin Kamara. You like the role you're seeing. You like what he's doing on the offense. He's looking efficient. He's looking involved. I'm feeling really, really, really good about him going up against Seattle this week, Travis.
Yeah, it's some really good signs right before the bye. There were also some really good warning signs right before the bye with Marquez Callaway, Johnny. Is he someone worth starting in this bye-mageddon?
I know he started to come alive right before the bye. You wanted to almost be like, is it true? Is it going to actually happen? Or is this just a falsified kind of thing? We had to wait. It was put on pause, and now we get to find out. And boy, do we get to find out, because this is a really good matchup to find out, because Seattle is top 12 in points allowed to the wide receiver position. They have given up 6 touchdowns so far this season to opposing wide receivers. So I do think that you can start Callaway in this game. It is going to be a little bit of a fingers crossed, right? But he did finally see more than 4 targets in a game and right before the bye. With Geno in the game, I could see it being a bit of a slower paced game. And because of that, those are my concerns for Callaway. But like Travi, and we've been talking about a lot on this week, because of all the buys, the good matchup on paper, it is pointing that Callaway is a decent flex play for you this week. But don't be surprised if the floor comes out from under you and you get a little bit disappointed with Callaway. But I do feel somewhat confident in starting him.
Yeah. Callaway kind of goes as Jameis Winston goes, and we've seen him kind of be this trapdoor quarterback as well. 2 games over 25 fantasy points, but then 3 games under 13. He threw for under 150 yards in each of his first 3 games, and he has thrown for 250 yards in back-to-back games. So only 1 interception in his last 3 games. I really do like the matchup, though. Seattle is allowing about 19 points per game to the position, and New Orleans has a 24-point implied total. So we actually are excited about the upside for Jameis Winston, Marquez Callaway, and Alvin Kamara in this matchup. I think they can all get into your lineup. Of course, Kamara is an auto start. When we move on to the Seattle side of the ball, we want to know if any of these guys are an auto start. Can we talk about, are we going to know if Alex Collins is going to be activated in time? Would Penny be a flex if he doesn't go? How do we feel about the running game here? Because Collins has been up and down in his usage, but we know that they're going to run the rock in Seattle.
Yeah, definitely going to monitor Collins' situation. He's dealing with both a hip and a glute issue. As of recording this, Pete Carroll came out and said, like, there is an outside kind of chance that he plays. I know that he goes. I don't think, that's my honest gut, I don't think he plays. I think it's Penny time.
Pete Carroll thinks there's an outside shot that Russell Wilson's going to play. So.
Yeah, fair point. But I do think this is when it's finally Penny time. And if it doesn't happen, then this is it, man. You could put a fork on it.
If I had a penny for every time Johnny said it was Penny time,
you would have a lot of money right now. I guarantee you. But I'm just going off of giving it to the guy. Like, this is going to be a shot. Penny, I need you to come through, man. The whole world needs you to come through. We know what the talent is, man. We know what you've been dealing with your whole career. Please, just show it to us one time on national television. Just give us people who have been holding out hope. Just like Jack was holding out hope in that cold-ass water, that some other boat was going to come along and save him because Rose would not slide over a little bit.
Jack dies there, right?
I know. And I'm hoping that that's not what happens this weekend with Penny. It looks like it probably could, because it's not a great matchup with the Saints. But if Penny does end up getting the bulk of the carries here, then Penny could have enough volume to float him to an RB2. It sounds wild, sounds crazy, but that is a realm of possibility.
I want to know, I mean, that was well done, Johnny, first of all. I don't know how you take the Titanic sinking scenario and make it sound like hope for Rashaad Penny, but only you can do that. So I appreciate that. I want to talk about the pass catchers, because I think that's really the meat and potatoes of fantasy football implications here. We're getting a lot of questions about Tyler Lockett, a lot of questions about DK Metcalf in our DMs here. We want to talk about where our trust level is out with these. If we talk about DK Metcalf, he's the alpha. He's seen double-digit targets only once this season, though. So we talk about low volume for Seattle. Then that gets even lower when we have Geno Smith in the lineup. His longest reception last week with Geno Smith as a starter, 14 yards. Not great. Still the big play threat, though, for this offense, the touchdown threat for this offense, the only wide receiver in the offense thus far in about 6 quarters worth of Geno Smith to catch a touchdown. He has cleared 50 yards in every game, so he does have somewhat of a floor here we can project for DK. Lockett, not so much. He's had 60 or fewer yards in 4 straight, 4 receptions or fewer in 4 of 6 games this year. Tyler Lockett is a boomer bust wide receiver, and this is not the week, it doesn't look like, or any time with Geno Smith for him to boom. New Orleans giving up the 13th fewest yards to opposing wide receivers on the season, but they are giving up over 25 fantasy points per game. So it's not in the yardage. They have been susceptible to touchdowns. I think that's why I still have a little bit of confidence in DK Metcalf. I'm having a real hard time getting there with Tyler Lockett. I don't get excited about that, and I'm definitely much more excited about DK than Lockett. But again, with buys, I just don't know if you can sit Lockett in this one. You got to hope he gets free and shakes for a big play here.
I don't know. He's a boom or bust player. We knew this coming in.
Yep. That's definitely where we're at with it. And that's where we're at with this episode of the Matchup Show. That does it for us. If you want part 1 of the Matchup Show, make sure you subscribe anywhere you get your podcasts. And if you have any further lineup questions, make sure you're subscribed and tune in Sunday morning on YouTube an hour and a half before kickoff. And check the fantasywhispers.com for our weekly rankings. For Johnny Game Time Hicks, for Austin Sear, I'm Big Travie, and we are the Fantasy Whispers. We're out. Peace.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Good luck this weekend.
Right here.
Look at you go. You made it to the end of another one of our videos. Hey, if you still have some questions, I totally understand. Or you just want to join an awesome fantasy football community, head on over to our Discord chat. Link is in the description below. And if you're still not sold on us, check out one of these videos.